Hey, what's up, you guys? Professor Pecora in the house once again. Welcome to another big book review with your boy. And I hope that you have been enjoying my previous review videos. I have a theme going, and it is early Bullseye cover appearances within the Daredevil title. And if you were watching my previous review videos, the last one was Daredevil 146, CGC graded 9.8, which featured the fourth cover appearance of Bullseye in the history of comics. And now we're going to the fifth appearance of Bullseye in the history of comics. This one is interesting because now we enter the Frank Miller era. And Frank Miller first started the Daredevil title as the series artist in Daredevil 158. A legendary issue, legendary cover with Daredevil and the Deathstalker on that cover, and it is a banging one. I love Daredevil 158. I had a few 9.8 copies and sold them on Heritage Auctions for really good prices about a year ago. But anyways, going back to our theme, Daredevil 159, CGC graded 9.8 white pager. And it is a newsstand edition. You don't see the newsstand editions that much on this particular issue. Okay, so let's talk about the significance of Daredevil 159. Two things right off the bat. It is Frank Miller's second Daredevil cover in the history of comics after Daredevil 158. So that is pretty significant in the legendary Frank Miller run. The second thing that's very unique about Daredevil 159 is that Frank Miller brings out Bullseye in the run, right? This is Bullseye, if you didn't notice that, okay? This is a rare depiction of Bullseye out of costume. So this is actually Bullseye choking Daredevil underwater and trying to force a dagger into his neck. Yes. This is Bullseye, everybody. If you didn't know, now you know. It's a rare cover appearance of Bullseye out of costume fighting Daredevil underwater. Pretty dope if you ask me. All right. It's not one of my favorite covers, but because of the history in that it's unique in that sense, I love it. Right. So Bullseye battling Daredevil on this cover. The colors do pop. You got that green background faded into a yellow at the top with the blue Marvel Comics group strip at the top. And it's just dope. I love Frank Miller, man. Frank Miller is the man. He is the I'm a big fan of the Frank Miller Daredevil run. That is my favorite run in all of comics, to be honest. You know, it's just I love it. And I love his artwork. So this is a perfectly wrapped, I would say near perfectly wrapped and centered copy. From the back, it's definitely perfect. You could see that. You know what I mean? Like there's no front cover appearing on the back at all. And you don't see any of the back cover appearing on the spine either. So in terms of that, the wrap is perfect. I would say it used to be more perfectly wrapped and centered, but I have a story behind this particular book, and I'll share it with you if you don't mind. It's CGC related. So basically, I originally purchased this book. It was in a holder, but it wasn't in the updated Newsstand Edition holder as you see here, right? CGC started adding recognizing Newsstand Editions on the labels, as you can see above the barcode where it says Newsstand Edition, and it's also on the top too of the label. Not sure if you could see that in the camera right there, but it says Newsstand Edition. Okay, so I like that. You know what I mean? I really love that. So after I purchased my 9.8 Newsstand Edition copy in the holder, I submitted it for a Reholder order because I wanted to get that newsstand recognition on my label. Okay, that's what I did. I sent it with a bunch of other books, maybe about 9 other Daredevil 9.8 Newsstand editions. Now, it took 3 months before I got the books back. When I got the books back, the only one that was not placed in a newsstand edition holder out of that batch I submitted was Daredevil, my Daredevil 159.98 white pager. I was very disappointed. It looked good, but then I was like, hold up. Then I was like, man, I wanted a newsstand edition holder. So now what? I got to wait another 3 months to submit it again and wait. Anyways, I reached out to CGC and, they paid for it immediately, for the shipping to send it back as a mechanical order so they can take care of it. It was their fault. They didn't put it in a newsstand edition label. But then I examined the book even further, and the handlers actually put a dent somewhere along the spine. You can't really see it now because it has been fixed, but they damaged it. And then I was like, man, not only do I have to submit it for another reholder because they didn't get it right the first time to put it in a newsstand edition label, right? Then I had to get CCS involved because they damaged my book in the process. There was like a dent in the spine. There was a little bit of wear on the spine and the back. It was crazy, and it wasn't like that prior to submitting, and I had pictures and video as proof, which I sent to CGC. So yes, they took care of it. They pressed it out, but in the process of pressing it, it actually pushed the pages slightly at an angle, so you see some of the bottom pages here, the internal pages from the bottom. Previous to this, you couldn't see that. You know what I mean? This is a little bit more straight along the top. I'm very meticulous, obviously. And to a lot of you, it's probably like, oh, it looks fine. Yeah, it does, but it actually looked better. I'm just sharing the story so you know. And then there's just a little bit of a crude corner wear right there as well. And that corner right there, that wasn't there. So, I mean, it was a situation with CGC where it's unfortunate. But man, it took I was like, let me think about the timeline. Maybe 8 months before I got this. I don't know, 4 or 5 months, I would say, before I even got it back and this whole ordeal was completed. You know what I mean? Like call it 5 months. It was a long time, maybe 6, from the original submission to finally getting it back. But I'm glad I do have it back. That is the background story on this particular book. It is a newsstand edition. They are harder to come by in the newsstand edition. And let's talk about the history. This was the first Daredevil issue in the run in which direct editions and newsstand editions were manufactured. Okay, this book was published in July of 1979, and that is the time period when direct editions first hit the scene. Okay, in Marvel Comics. So there are direct editions and newsstand editions of Daredevil 159. However, the issue previous to this one, they are all newsstand editions because there were no direct editions of Daredevil 158. That's something to keep in mind. So this is the era of newsstand edition variants, beginning with Daredevil 159 within the Daredevil title. And the same goes for like even other titles like Amazing Spider-Man. Around this time period, it was Amazing Spider-Man number 194, the first appearance of the Black Cat, which they had direct and newsstand edition variants of that issue, right? Similar time period. So that's just something to keep in mind, because as you see the next set of review videos I released, there will be either a direct or a newsstand edition variant. In the previous videos I released, they were all newsstand because there were no direct editions at the time. During 1976, 1977, 1978, they were all newsstands, all barcodes. It was only to the second half or the later half of 1979 when newsstand editions were also had direct edition counterparts. All right, so this is a cool book. The only cover appearance of Bullseye out of costume battling Daredevil, Frank Miller's second Daredevil cover. Bullseye's 5th cover appearance in the history of comics, his 6th overall appearance, and it is a beauty. 9/8 white pager newsstand edition. I hope that you enjoyed the review video, and stay tuned for more. And if you kind of guess, you already know what the next one's going to be. If you're following me and following my channel and my review videos, you already know. Can you guess? Yes, you probably did. Daredevil 160, right? Awesome. I can't wait for that one. One of my favorite Bullseye covers. All right, you guys. I'm going to sign off for now. Enjoy this one. Bam, look at that. Killer Instinct. Bullseye's badass. All right, you guys. I will talk to you soon. Drop any comments, and I will answer them as soon as I can. Please give me a like, give me a follow, subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. Helps me out, helps with the algorithm, and look out for more great content, review videos of mine. These are all books from my personal collection. I hope you're enjoying them, and you know, stay safe, stay blessed, keep a positive mindset. Talk to you soon. Peace and God bless.